Hi, before I get on to the review of these Magnavox, I just want to point out that Digital DJ Gear has sent me a set of these Fostex TM2Cs, which, if you remember, these are the wireless adapters for IMs that Fostex makes, usually quite expensive, $200 in their site, with a $20 coupon, which is Z Reviews TM2C, which you put it on checkout, and brings the price down $20 extra. And this pair is different than the ones I reviewed previously, as the case itself has USB-C and can charge the IMs, as opposed to the last ones, which did not do that. So if you're interested in these, give them a check out. I will be doing a review, or at least including them in a review in the future. So there's that. And don't forget there's merch. We're still trying to sell all the merch, so we can make new merch, including stickers and things, and we're good. On to the review. Good evening and hello, lovers of audio and music, and people who just enjoy sound. I'm your host, Zeospantera. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the wallpaper, which is oddly terrifying today, because how do I put this? There have been many best headphones on this desk. Like, I'll find something, it'll do something better than something else. Best headphone in that category, everyone makes fun of me. But to come here and pick up this and say, hey, this is the worst headphone ever. You know what? It's fucking fighting those Koss Pro 4AAs. Those were probably the worst. If you want to go back and find that review, those were. Because those hurt on top of sounding like shit and being heavy. These look real familiar, right? Let me turn around. Let me turn around. This is SHP 9500s. One of my favorite headphones of all time. Like, literally put Z Reviews on the map. Show me the headphone, put Z Reviews on the map. Boom. These actually have different pads. I don't even know where the hell I got these pads now that I'm looking at them, but I've got actually like pleather pads, which usually SHP 9500s come with pads like this, like not foam, but foam wrapped fabric pads, and like they hold all the sweat and ha. And I've got like 6 pairs of these lying around the house because under $100, one of the best open backs. By the way, new $100 best open backs. Probably Koss KPH 40s, linked in the description. So when someone brought to my attention that, hey, did you see the new Magnavox rebrand of the SHP 9500s? Because Philips owns Magnavox, or Magnavox owns Philips. I hope it's Philips owns Magnavox. But then Philips also sold their whole headphone making thing away. So I don't know how any of this makes any sense from a business standpoint, but sure as shit, there is a almost identical copy of the SHP 9500s that's rebranded as a Magnavox as a closed back. Because this is closed, and that you could see the driver inside, and that you can't. So I immediately purchased it. And you know why I purchased it immediately? Because it's $29.99. So the SHP 9500s that we've all of us have loved them. I don't give a fuck if you don't love them, you love them. Are $75. And there's the SHP 9600s, which are down here, which they didn't blow my mind. They didn't feel like a big enough upgrade. They were just sort of like a sound change with a couple little niggling details fucked around with. I'd still probably recommend the SHP 9500s 100%. So they're $75. Sometimes they drop down to $65. That's an affordable headphone for like everybody. So when you show me $29.99, and it looks, and in fact, if we go back and forth, they didn't even bother changing. Let me see if I can click this to make it bigger. They didn't even bother retaking the picture. They just photoshopped the text different. And you could tell because they didn't Photoshop the text different in the reflection down there. So it says architectural acoustic, and it still says that even though it says max power 200 milliwatt is what this says now. Instead of saying 50 millimeter vented neodymium drivers, it says 50 millimeter high performance drivers because it's not vented. And then down here it says max power, which is 1/5 of a watt. Who cares? Who gives a flying fuck shit? So, okay, the ratings, before we get to how bad these are, and they are fucking atrocious. The ratings on the SHP 9500 is 8,108 reviews, ratings, 4.5 stars. and 76% of that is 5 stars, and 15% of that is 4 stars. So I count the last remaining 9%, 5, 2, and 2, as just people who, you know, have no idea what's going on. Or they have way too high of an expectation for a $75 headphone. Or they're not Beats, and therefore they don't vote them high. The Magnavox, however, have 6 ratings. That's this many. And it's 2.5 stars. And it's apparently, it looks like 2 5 stars and then 4 1 stars. And I won't even rate it. I'm not even going to give this product the traction on the Amazon algorithm that says, oh, people are rating this and looking at it. If I could take my order back, I would do it. We're going to minimize this now and go back to the bunny girl with the fucking saw because, so the box is over there somewhere. So it was the same box. Just said, here, no, my mind. What's in here? Oh, the wire. This is the stock cable. The one thing they added, besides having it say Magnavox comfortable design built-in microphone, is it have a built-in microphone. Is that it? Is that fucking it? Okay, good. By the way, they shipped it in that. That was a shipping label on the back of it. Here's the wire. It has this microphone block with a button, and it's a piece of shit wire, and I didn't even want to use it. Also came with this little quarter-inch adapter, which is pretty standard. Fuck. So, I didn't know what to expect, but I did not expect this. All right, I'm going to put back on, it was Bach. Let's just switch it up. Mr. Robot, Untouchables, Ness and his family. I'm going to start with the SHP 9500s with the pleather pads. Deep, warm, wide, open. Bit of a treble spike at 6K. Fine with it. Fine with it. Musical. Beautiful. Like literally just I would say better treble on these, but that's because that's all there is. That's it. I'm not going to even bother sound demoing these. If you look in the description for the sound demo or the second channel, I'll link to the second channel because there's interesting stuff happening there. But there'll be no sound demo because these are, as far as I'm concerned, broken. There's no redeeming quality to the way these produce audio. Like, if you got these for free at a fucking concert, you know, drunk, and it was like, hey, you get free headphones. Everyone gets a free headphone, buddy. You got a free headphone. I throw them right in the trash. Don't bother. It sounds like we're only getting 1,000 hertz and above, like that sort of like level of no mid-range. And then it sounds like they're out of phase, but also in the same driver and out of phase. I have to lower. I have them, by the way, on the SHP 9500s, are on the HO 100. And I gave the Magnavox the benefit of the better amp with the HO 200, the SMSL HO 200, just in case. And I put whatever, you know, nice standard auxiliary cables. It's nice to have one-sided cables. You usually get the SHP 9500s. You get the V-Moda Boom Pro, if they even sell that anymore. I'm not even sure. And you can have a little microphone. You can play games with it. It's great. It's great. It's comfortable. Clamp is light. It's got this nice padded top bit. We'll do build first. As much as I want to shit all over this thing for sound, we'll just keep getting to it over and over again. I can't burn out right away. So here's the thing. You apparently own the tooling to make this headphone. Why is everything worse? So here's the thing. It's not just, oh, they closed it and it sounds bad. All the plastics are different. Whereas the SHP 9500s had that piece of tape here, so that swinging arm, see this nice, smooth, quality swinging arm that will stay in place where you put it. Had that little piece of plastic to protect it in case it come down, and it's got these, you know, plastic around here in the metal. Well, this has no tension on that at all. It just wiggles. There's obviously no tape. In fact, it's scratching the surface, and it wiggles like it wiggles this way. I did not break these. These have just been broken. All this plastic, sharp as fuck. And then the headband, which is apparently the same material, only instead of saying Phillips, it says glue residue. See all this shit up here? Came in the box like that. Like manufacturing errors. As far as this goes, the actual headband here, that actually feels remarkably the same. So I don't think they weren't able to cheap out on this. In fact, the foam underneath here is also there, which I was questioning why the hell it's even in there because you're never going to touch that. So if you need a replacement top foam, $30. The pads. So I don't have the original ship pads in here, but I know the original ship pads very well. These are actually probably a little bit softer. These Magnavox pads. They're the same exact system. They clip on. I pulled them off. They're like, there you go. There's your driver. If you want to call it that. And so if you want replacement pads and a replacement top pad, $30. I'm finding a reason for people to pick up the Magnavox. I've got the Ship 9500. I wish I had replacement pads. Boom. They've actually got a nice felt lined inside and then like a fabric outside. So I'm not sure if that was Ship 9500, but like listen to this plastic. They changed the formula of the plastic from this nice like matte, solid, like smooth plastic that, you know, didn't have a fucking problem to this shit. This band is the same. You get the same numbers from 0 to 6. It feels the same when you pull it out. So they weren't able to fuck that up. I'm sure they tried. And then everything else is, oh, this is actually breaking. Oh yeah. Oh, that just came apart. It actually shattered. What did I do? That actually broke right there. Right, it just split and cracked. Probably because I wiggled it once or twice. So, put this shit back on here. The wire's crap. The boxes, who cares about the box? I don't really give a shit about boxes. Which direction? One direction? Does this go in one direction? Oh, God. Put this crap back on here. I'm insulted by these existing. Because if you're going to take a headphone that's already cheap, and let's face it, $75 on sale for $65 means that Ship is making these for like 15 bucks. They're making them for $15. Philips, when they were making them, you have to make that sort of profit. So if Amazon, the reseller, is selling them for 75 or 65, they're taking 20 to 25. They're taking $20 off that for them, which means it's $45. Which means to make any money, Philips had to be making these for like 10 bucks. That's just the way life is. All these headphones, all these thousands of dollars in headphones from the manufacturer cost like 10, well, maybe not as low as 10, but 15 to 25% of what the retail cost you paid is. That's just part of business. You can't stay in business if you make $5 on a headphone. You have to sell 50 million of them. But if you make $60 on a headphone, well, then you're in business. So to take a headphone that's already cheap and already costs almost nothing to make, cheap it up even fucking more, these have got to get down to like the $5 or $6 a pair to make. They have to. Because the only way they can sell them for 30 on a retailer. It's the only way to make $6 headphones. And I don't know why. Why close it? Why close back it? Did they not want to compete directly with these? They're already going to be super fucking cheap. Okay. I'm putting back in my head. I'm going to play some music. Oh, Berserk Arc Flute Silence Cues 2. It sounds so bad. So bad. Like, it sounds mono, and it doesn't sound like it's coming from the drivers. It sounds like it's coming from a tube, like a plastic port tube that's about a foot long with a headphone driver held against that behind my head. What the fuck is that? How? How do you make it sound so bad? And I've taken my hands and I've covered the side of the Ship 9500 to see if it's just like, all right, if I just close back these, which people have done mods for, just close back these, are they as bad as this? No, not even close. Not even fucking close. The reason these get any high ratings on any platform is they're as comfortable as the Ship 9500s. They're worse built. They sound infinitely shittier. Not like half as good or 10%. There's no measurement. We've got to go to science and be like, hey, how many decimal places can we go to the percentage of how good these sound? Oh, 4 trillion to the power of 8. It's like, fuck, these are... Do not buy them to listen to them. Buy them to steal the pads and the headband. That's it. That's the only fucking reason, which, by the way, there's also a thread coming out of this one. So when you do the wire for the pads, you may have to do a little trimming, a little clipping, a little maintenance. Think about how cool it would have been if these actually were decent. $30? Because this is the same price. This is actually $10 less than the Koss KPH40s. And those are just a strip of metal and two little drivers that like clip on. And you're getting the whole headphone for that. So just think about how much they're cutting the fucking corners. I want to do an experiment. I want to see if I can fix these. And oh, Jesus God, Foo Fighters. You know what these sound like? These sound worse than the Pizza Hut headphones. I know there's like a cheese headphone now. There's a cheese headphone, everyone's memeing the fuck out of it. Guaranteed sounds better than this. It's got to. It's got to by the laws of averages, and the laws of knowing it. I gotta give it a left-right test. I like honestly think it might be wired in mono. Where the fuck is my headphone demo? Hold on. No, nope. It's left and right. Cats farting sounds better than this. No, this is so bad that if I had the choice of being like locked on a desert island and I had the choice of these headphones or literally fucking nothing, I take the nothing. That's how bad these are. And I don't want you to buy them like as a joke, like, they're only 30 bucks. I'll get them in, I'll give my friends, say they're great. No, don't do that. Don't do that to the ships. This is like someone making a clone of you, only no matter what even if you're not the greatest human being on earth, imagine a clone that literally fucking murders babies and then says it's you. That's this. You don't want that. No one wants that. Ships shouldn't even want that. Whoever team developed this, God bless their souls. Whatever team developed this, go to hell. No blessings for you. Fuck. You're getting isekai to the worst world. Which is probably ours, actually, come to think of it. With the housing crisis and the fucking pandemic and the tensions in Russia, and you go, it's probably, yeah, we're the worst isekai world. Oh no, the pad fell off again. Now it's not even to go back together. So here's what I'm gonna go do. I'll pause the video for a second, and we're gonna make a modification to this and see if it helps. So go. Goes the metal. All right, well, I got the plastic and metal out. This had a little bit of a breakage issue, but I might be able to pop that back in its socket. Hold on. There we go. Right as rain. Wires look okay over here. Not as good over here. There's a piece of tape holding them. And then there's a red wire that just doesn't go anywhere, but it's still 3 hooked up. So let's go see if these things still make sound now that I've made them open back. By the way, did you know getting one of those like cheap beauty rings and like Velcroing it to your drill press is the greatest fucking idea on earth? Link to that shitty $12 fucking beauty ring. That's awesome. That right there is ingenuity. Hold on. So they still work. Give it a second. Hold on. Guess what? They may not be 100% SHP 9500, but they have low end now. They have structure. They actually sound really good. Oh fuck! I wasn't sure what was gonna happen when I literally took a hole saw. I didn't have the centering thing, which is why I had to like lift it up into it. Don't do what Zeos does. Zeos did bad. Like you could probably take this thing apart, remove it all, you know, take the screws out. I didn't give a fuck. Plus that was better video for the internet. It's barely like it didn't ride down here, and it's fine. This is all fine. These might even end up in the yard sale. I don't know. Maybe I'll keep them on the wall. So here's the thing. I just put them on the first or second song. There's no left and right indicators anymore because I cut them out with a hole saw. But there's your drivers. Why do they close these? slapping the left one up. Apparently there's some shrapnel in there. Oh God, it's all over the table still. Ow. Sorry, new camera. Real high. Now they are, I don't want to say equally as good, but wow. Like, wow. From the worst headphone I've ever listened to SHP 9500s. And all it took was almost losing a hand. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Evangelion 222. B01 at the very beginning. It had like a rumble. Wow. See, now, but I can't recommend people buy these. That sounds good. It actually sounds good. So there you go. With some slight modifications. Because I thought about taking it apart and, you know, just seeing if I could just remove if there was a plastic cap over it, but it's not. It had to be physically fucking cut out. And I figure I'm going to kill all the birds with one stone and just place this fucking thing on my drill press and go. So I did that, and here we are. And they actually sound good now. Like, they sound legitimately. These are the best full-size $30 headphones you can buy. They just need some TLC. But then you're gonna, like, I'm sure that'll stay. It'll stay. If it falls apart, you just glue it again. So yeah, I would sound about these now. If these showed up and sounded like this, if Magnavox sold a $30 headphone that sounded like this, which all it would take them to do is remove some plastic, these would sell out. They couldn't keep on the shelves. Even with the shittier build, I'd be like, all right, look, build's close enough, pads are solid, and so if the plastic's garbage. If it sounds as good as these, then you buy it. But with those backs in, one of the worst headphones I've ever listened to. Like, absolutely abysmal. You take the backs off through violence, and now they sound fucking good. Like, that's just... I have to go online and give these a 3-star review, don't I? Like, really good headphones once you fuck them up royally. So yeah, no, that's the review of the Magnavox. Does it even have a name? Because, I mean, these are the Philips SHP 9500s. These are the Magnavox hi-fi stereo over-ear wired headphone with built-in microphone. And it's not built in, you fucking liars. It's on a wire, which when I take it out, now there's no built-in headphone. Now there's no... God, there's going to be... There's plastic... There's so much that went wrong and could have gone even more wrong. I do not... Please. I am trained professional. Audio reviewer. Do not attempt. This is not legal advice. Or what is it? Legal advice? Financial advice? Which advice am I not allowed to give without a disclaimer? Yeah, no, they are tremendously much better now. I'm impactful, even. Put it back to medium gain. Oh yeah, they're great headphones now. Now they're great headphones. They really are. They're good. That's a solid listening experience I'm going through right now. It's what I knew I was gonna do that. Obviously, that's why I picked the Saw Girl background. It was just that I didn't know if I was gonna open it up because people say it gets almost as good as the SHP 9500s. I'd say these are as good, if not a little bit. I mean, again, these are the solid pads, so that could be affecting the tuning. These might sound better than SHP 9500s when you jank the fucking back open with a saw. It could also just be the fact that I have, they have nice, fresh pads. It's been a while since I had a SHP 9500 with fresh pads. Fight! Skate! Fight! What would Brian Boitano do if he was here today? He'd kick it. I'm sure he'd kick an ass or two. What would Brian Boitano do? So yeah, there was your, that was kind of like a mad science hour in the middle of a review, and it's never gonna... It's like a pepper grinder. It's just applying pepper, headphone pepper. So if you can get these and you are willing to take on the task of cutting that back out more safely than I did, because you got to keep in mind, this wire here that goes through this part of it is real close to where I was getting that blade through, which is why it actually stripped... It actually got caught by the blade, and I just managed to not cut anything when I went through this side. This was the first side I went through. And like, I don't understand like this piece of tape. There's like a piece of tape in here, taping the blue and the red one together, and then there's a copper that goes in and out. So it's just whatever. I can't. They are definitely a different driver. It looks, yeah, it's not the same driver from the SHP 9500 because that actually has a larger, or the magnet doesn't have a guard around it. Plus these are the contacts on the side where this is a contact on the bottom, which I guess it might just be rotated in the housing. But like the actual backing, the paper backing with the hole through it, that's tuning. And this does not have that hole through it. So maybe this is the only way to, what if, you know what? I've got those ZMF Atriums. What if I put those on the drill press? Maybe if I cut a couple holes in that, it'll also be even better. I'm sure there's an audiophile out there right now thinking about drill pressing all his fucking headphones to make them better. Yeah, remarkable difference. So these are just an improperly manufactured, like crippled for no reason. It feels similar to that one thing that happened with the SVS, where there were the SVS Prime and the SVS Ultra, and they used the same tweeter and the same size driver in the same size boxes with the same port, and one was 1,000 and one was 500, and you can tell they made the better speaker first and then just did enough to gimp the cheaper one to make it sound worse. But I think they went too far. I'm not a huge fan of the SVS Primes. I love the SVS Ultras. This feels like what they went here. They were like, all right, we've got a $75 set of headphones that sounds really good. We need to make it cheaper and sound cheaper. But they went so fucking overboard with the way it sounded that no one should fucking buy them. And in fact, you know what? Even if I cut them open and they sound amazing for $30, unless you just like projects, just buy the KPH 40s. KPH 40s are better than SHP 9500s in almost every way. I would even say including comfort and bass and imaging, and they're just the newest, cheap, best thing ever. I'm really surprised by how good these came out, though, despite my utter failure as a craftsman. But yeah, no, I'm glad they worked. If they didn't work, I'd have to fucking solder them or just be like, eh. But I'd listen to these, and they'd have the SHP 9500 comfort. Oh God, my desk is ruined. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. You know, they sound like real headphones now, not utter piles of shit. So thank you to a nobody. Well, the patrons, I spent their money, their $29.99 to buy these, and I'm pretty sure I own that drill bit set and the drill press before that, so no one helped me with that. But thank you for stopping by and listening to me actually drill fucking like press that out. Links to these, links to the SHP 9500s, links to a nice auxiliary cable because the one it comes with is shit. Should you decide to buy a fucking Magnavox, like it's still got like, what is this up here? Like there's no, it feels like a hobo headphone. If like homeless people invaded the factory where the SHP 9500s were being made after the apocalypse and they decided to like just sell headphones, but they don't understand like manufacturing process. It's like, it's fucking good enough. Fuck it, I don't give a fuck. Then these would have come out of there, and you'd have to just stabby them with a saw to get them open. All right, I'm done. Patreon, subscribe star, help support this madness. If you'd like to see me drill in other headphones, please let me know on the Patreon or the Subscribe Star. For $5 a month, you get to see reviews early. This video, I'm actually making the day before it's got to come out because I'm super behind. So hi, public people and patrons who didn't realize this was a thing. It's not like you guys are going to have to run out to get this. One of the benefits of Patreon is when you see something like a week or 2 weeks early, things are in stock. When it comes out and it's 10,000 views in the first day, things are not in stock. So if you really want to know what you're getting, you get it. Also, for $5, you get to participate in the yard sales, where should I go to sell this or any, God damn it, this or any of the other items I've done this month that either people have handed to me and said, here, I'm donating this to the channel, or companies have sent me and don't want it back, or just has been sitting on my shelf for months. I sell that half shipping international, free shipping United States and Canada. Bidding starts usually at $0. There might be a couple items in the future that have a higher bidding because people are sending them to me for a review and then saying, hey, can you sell this? So we'll see how that goes. Get to the Sound Demo Oasis where you could hear all sound demos that have been disappeared from YouTube. Here are all the sound demos I've made currently lossless. There's also that Puffin demo there that I put up there. So like 85 people have seen that, or heard that, I should say. It's an audio-only thing. For $10 a month, you get in the private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat where you could ask me any questions you'd like, hey, Zeos, what size bit? I don't actually know. I think it might have been 1 3/4. You'll figure it out. It was perfect size. It was like, oh, this is ideal. So yeah, $10 a month, private behind-the-scenes Telegram chat. Ask me any questions you want. Great little community. Also has a lifetime swap meet chat. Once you're joined that, you get into a private swap meet where you can trade, buy, sell gear with other people who were ever in the $10 chat. You don't get kicked out of that. That's lifetime. There actually is a lifetime chat for when you support me long enough. You will get automatically added, or you'll get access to a link to go into the lifetime chat. But that's for people who have been like here for years. Don't strive for that. You're a psychopath if you're in there. There's a lot of psychopaths in there. Yeah. Hi-Fi Guides, the Hi-Fi Guide forums. I have a couple other sponsors I need to pop up through the... What's on the board? I got to do a Civga sponsorship and another Linsol and Triangle. I have to do those AIO twins. Anyway, thank you. I'm done. Are you done? I don't know. That felt really good. Like, I had to invent that ring thing. I literally installed that ring. I'm like, I had this ring. What am I going to do with it? Boom. The ring thing is worth watching this video. To put the goddamn LED beauty ring on your drill press is fantastic. So I'm done. You're done. We're done. I'll see you all in 2 days, hopefully, for another review that maybe patrons even got to see. So we'll see.